This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the concept of wealth and richness in Vedic astrology. So guys, just because this is going to be my very first video of 2023 on this YouTube channel, so I actually wanted to make a video on a topic which is going to be equally interesting for everyone. So wealth, I am sure, is a topic which equally fascinates everyone. So guys, I have divided this video in 3 parts. In the very first part, we will take up the case of celebrities and we will look at the practical application of the wealth yogas in their life, that which all were the planets or the shahs or nakshatras which helped them succeed in life, or which actually took them to the top of their chosen field. And definitely guys, like the way I always say this thing, if you have a very fatalistic approach towards astrology, then you might not be able to get benefited much. Because see, in today's day and age, to get the right direction in the life, your approach has to be understand your planetary placements, understand the kind of planetary time periods which are currently operational in your life, and basis that take some very consciously aware choices. So if this is the kind of mindset you have, then astrology is for you. I was just watching this video in the morning where when this question was asked to BK Shivani ji, that what is her take on astrology, she gave a very spiritually enlightened answer that astrology needs to be looked at as your opening account balance of your accumulated karma. So it's just like that, when you are born, basis your past karma or sanskaras, you have got a planetary alignment. Now definitely at the same time, there must have been different people who are born with different destinies or life path. So it all comes down to how you use the energies of the chart to make some right consciously aware choices. So guys, in the first part, we will try to understand these celebrity charts. In the second part, I will try to summarize all of the findings which we have seen in these 3 charts. What could be the common resonance which might help us as well, that we might be lacking with our focus, with our direction, and studying these charts and extracting and summarizing all these findings might help us as well. And at the end, I will share my own findings, that which all nakshatra could be very prominent in giving you huge, humongous wealth in life. And also, if you actually want to extract the best out of the 12 houses, what could be the right set of approach or attitude which is required. So okay guys, let's start our discussion. And the first chart is of the Warren Buffett. So we do not need to introduce this person, this investor who has held this, I guess, record of being the richest person for a number of years. But the good part is that even his wealth he used for some good charitable reasons as well. If I'm not wrong, he has also committed his 99% of the wealth to Bill and Melinda Gates charitable foundation as well. So yes guys, it is very important to study the chart of a person just to have a lunch or dinner with him. There has been those news that people were even willing and ready to spend millions of money just to have lunch with him, to share and get some advice from him. So guys, first of all of my analysis always begin first with the scrutinization of the numerology numbers. So he is born on the August 30, 1930. So the date of birth vibration is of 3, a number ruled by the planet Jupiter. So advice, share market, investment, this is a domain of Mercury, but just in order that people are so desperate to get the advice from him, so there must be some sort of wisdom which his personality might be carrying within him. So number 3, 6, 9 are generally considered as very auspicious numbers. After that guys, if you look at the life path number, so while making a sum total of his complete birth details, we will get the number 6. So 3, 6, life path number 6 is a very auspicious energy. And as you can see that Venus is considered as the planet of wealth, of luxury only. After that, guys, now look at his Lagna chart. So now if you will pay attention to his Lagna chart, he is born with the Scorpio Lagna, with moon being placed right over there in the first house, and his ascendant lord is placed in the 8th house. So this could be a very good eye-opening chart, where whenever it comes down to 8th house, everyone gets scared, but you cannot even imagine the kind of wealth which 8th house, if it gets activated, it can grant you. You take up the case of Rajneesh Osho, you see the chart of Warren Buffett, you take the chart of Indian actor Amitabh Bachchan. So there has been so many cases of people getting wealthy, successful in their life because of the prominent 8th house. After that, guys, there is one thing which I find out, that in the case of all those people who were very much consciously aware about their inner calling, about their purpose right from a very young age, over there second house plays a very pivotal role. So as you can see, first of all, his moon nakshatra is Anuradha. The lord of Anuradha is planet Saturn, which is very well placed in the second house. So that also tells about that finding your purpose right from a very young age. After that, guys, because we have to give attention to the Karaka planet as well. So in his case, the planet which represents his complete business setup, business model, that planet is Mercury, and it is exalted right over there in the 11th house. Now, guys, if you will pay attention to his Navamsa chart, in the Navamsa chart, we have to first validate the placement of the ascendant lord. So Mars, which was looking weak in the Lagan chart, is gaining strength in the D9 chart. And if you will look at the D10 chart, so guys, the 10th house lord, which becomes the planet Venus, it is very well placed in the second house. And second thing is that in his main Lagna chart, Sun was the 10th house lord. So Sun was not only well placed in the main Lagna chart in the 10th house, glorifying his public image, but also in the D10 chart, it is placed in the 12th house. So charity, or being known for some good charitable reasons as well. After that, guys, let's take up the case of singer Drake. So guys, in his case as well, we will first start our discussion with the scrutinization of his numbers. So he is born on the October 24th, 1986. So if you will make a sum total of his date of birth, that will give you the number 6, which is the number ruled by the planet Venus. So being in the business of music, of acting, entertainment business, Venus becomes a very important planet for you. So date of birth vibration, which tells about his personality, the kind of charm his personality exude, so that we can relate with the 6 vibration. And if you will look at the life path number, so that comes out to be number 4, so which is a prominent influence of Rahu. Now guys, there is one more thing, even his moon nakshatra is Adra as well, so nakshatra which is being ruled by the Rahu. So that also tells about that when we talk about specifically in the case of singers, you know, when your fans, they get obsessed with you, with your craft, with your music. So over there, Rahu and Venus, this combined influence act as a blessing for all the creators, all the musicians. So now guys, if you look at his Lagan chart, his ascendant is of Leo, and the good part over here is that his Lagan is in the Magha nakshatra. So I have seen in the case of lot many people who are in the top of their game, so Magha influence tend to remain very lucky in giving you power or throne in your field. After that, guys, his ascendant lord has gone to the 3rd house, but the debilitation of the sun is getting cancelled because Venus is very well placed over there. Now guys, I am sure you must be making points over here so far. So when we were looking at the chart of the Warren Buffett, you must have seen that the planet which represents his business was exalted in a very auspicious house. Same way, the planet which represents his business, the field to which he belongs, is very strongly, very well placed right over there in the 3rd house. So for the singers, performing artists and all of that, 3rd house, 5th house plays a very important role. So yes guys, that is what his Lagan chart is. Looking at his Navamsa and the D10 chart. So yes guys, there is no doubt about it. His Venus and Mars are conjunct right over there in the 1st house. So that in itself tells about the kind of passion for music, for his arts, this person has deep within. And guys, not only that, if you will look at the D10 chart as well, over there as well he has got a Libra Lagna. So Venus influence is very prominent in the life of Drake, as you can fairly see over here. Now guys, after that, let's take up the case of Richard Branson as well, because now we have so many people to look at, like so many billionaires and wealthy people. But I still remember being a 90s kid. So in 90s, in early 2000, he was one of the prime example of success, or you know how you can like specifically guys, here I will actually bring up the case of the second house energy as well, because there has been a lot written about him that growing up, even in his young teenage days, his teacher only discovered his entrepreneurial nature, that either you will become a criminal or you will become a very rich, very wealthy person. And he was very good in managing money, or he has got a very enterprising nature. And again guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, second house prominent influence actually give you this sort of awareness, conscious awareness regarding your purpose in the life. Because when it comes down to purpose, people generally talk about ascendant or the 10th house. I've seen some people talk about third house as well, but what I have seen is that second house plays a very important role over there. Again, that could be the reason that the great Indian astrologer K.N. Rao sir, he has even said this thing, that prominent second house can be seen as a man born with a mission to fulfill. So guys, in his case, first of all, let's look at his numerology numbers. So he's born on the July 18th 1950. So date of birth vibration is of 9. So 9 is a number of Mars, of divine standards, philanthropy, helping people, and it's the passion of Mars, which you can see over here in his personality. Now guys, if you will make a sum total of his complete date of birth, that will give you the number 4. So 22/4. So now guys, try to understand this thing over here. We got the 4 life path in the case of Drake as well, but that was a karmic number which was reduced to a 4, because his life path number was 13. Now which could be very good for the fame, but again that sort of chart generally tells about a, I will not say very hedonistic life, but a very materialistic life. But when we talk about, we are also getting the number 4, but it is coming out of reducing 22. Now 22 is considered as a master builder number, and 22 also tells about that your success, you will also use it to uplift people, or you will have that sort of strong emotions attached to building an empire. So we can fairly see over here. And not only that guys, if you look at his Lagan chart, he is born with the Cancer Lagna. Sun and Mercury is very well placed in the first house, and ascendant Lord Moon is placed in the second house and conjunct with Saturn. So again, Saturn's presence in the second house, ascendant Lord being in the second house, can be a very ideal combination of finding your calling right from a very, very young age. And guys, not only that, even if you will look at his nakshatra as well, so I'm sure his nakshatra is Magha. So again, another example of Magha. So getting that throne, reaching the top of the position. So Magha plays a very important role over there. So that in itself tells about that he started his life first with the Ketu Dasha, but after that his Venus Dasha came. And guys, as you can see in his charts, so Venus is actually placed in a good sign, because when we talk about in the Lagan chart, Venus being placed in the 12th house, it still is considered as very strong when it is placed in the 12th house, because Venus is a planet of luxury, of enjoyment, and this is what 12th house also tells about. And not only that guys, if you will look at his D9 chart and his D10 chart, so in the D9 chart he has got a Capricorn rising over there, so that also tells about high set goals to accomplish or attain something in the life. And guys, over here if you will look at the D10 chart, so he has got a Libra Lagna over there, and the lord of the D10 chart, which is the Venus, first house lord, it is also very well placed in the 9th house. So all of that makes him very lucky, very fortunate in all of his endeavors. So this is what we can see from his chart as well. Now guys, like the way I promised it to you, that after going through all these 3 charts, we will try to summarize our findings, that how we can also learn the lessons from their success, from their life as well. So guys, I am just revealing my findings. If you have found something else, please feel free to write it in the comment section. So finding number 1 is that, guys, all these 3 combined, so their accomplishments were connected to their ascendant lord's placement. So now whether we talk about in Warren Buffett's case, where his ascendant lord has gone to the 8th house, when we talk about in the Drake's case, his ascendant lord was placed in the 3rd house. So somehow, if you actually want to succeed in the life, your life has to be somehow aligned with the ascendant lord's placement in your chart. That will never ever deceive you. Like guys, in my case, now my chart is little bit exceptional in this regard, that not only my ascendant lord but my 10th house lord is also placed in the 8th house. So that could be the reason that, but whenever I start working on astrology, I start doing research or anything to do with the mantra, chanting, spirituality, that somehow rejuvenates me. Like for me, relaxation is getting engrossed and getting deep in research in astrology. So this is my first finding, is that all those people who have attained some great success in any of the field, somehow their life was aligned with the house where their ascendant lord was placed or is placed. Finding number 2, that numerology life path number tells about your ultimate goal. So try to understand this thing, guys. Like the way I mentioned this thing, that when we took up the case of Drake, so beyond doubt he's a billionaire, he's a very wealthy person. But again, if you will take up the case of Drake's case, and let's take up the case of Richard Branson, they both have got a life path number 4, but Drake has got a 13 being reduced to 4, and Richard Branson has got 22 reduced to a 4. So over there, Richard Branson has got his emotions very strongly attached in order to build an empire and also to make use of his wealth for some charitable philanthropic reasons as well. Now when we take up the case of Drake, so he has got a strong Rahu influence. Now again, I'm not undermining his talent or his hard work, like even I am a fan of his music, but somehow some sort of karma from the past life which might have helped him succeed in this life, and along with that a kind of a very materialistic and a hedonistic life, an obsession with that can also be seen in his vibration. And guys, if you will take up the case of Warren Buffett, so in his case, as you can see, his life path number was 6. So again, 6 is a number of Venus, which has a lot to do with the domestic life. So somehow the Venusian energy, he is also utilizing it in the way of committing his huge empire, his wealth to charity as well. So that is my second finding, that numerology life path number tells about your ultimate goal. Now finding number 3 is that, I have said this thing a lot many times in this video, that a prominent 2nd house especially is very important for finding your calling early in the life. Now guys, I want to share one story over here. Now it happens a lot many times with me, because I'm a kind of person who sees lot many dreams, and generally what happens is that, see, try to understand the importance of 2nd house, because 2nd house chiefly tells about your childhood as well. So now these days, like, or whenever I get a dream, so the people I see are from my ongoing current life, but the places where I see, like people from 2023 in my life are placed in my home which was in 1990s. So my childhood home is always there in the dream, but the faces and the characters get replaced with the people who are in my current surrounding environment. So 2nd house plays a very important role. So because of which, guys, yes, you have to give attention to that as well. So specifically all those people in whose case, because guys, here we are talking about wealth, so I did not put emphasis on that a prominent 2nd house can make you wealthy. That is for sure. I'm very much sure that 2nd house, 11th house, their importance for giving someone wealth, you must be already knowing about it. But important is that degree and sense of focus and inner calling and living your life, following your duties like a person who is on a mission to fulfill. After that, guys, the finding number 4 is looking at the 8th house for success, because whenever it comes down to 8th house, people generally take the negative route, that scandals, entanglements, grief, all sort of problems. But if you are aligning your energies in the right direction of the 8th house, then it can actually make you wealthy, that too in a very sudden, unpredictable way. Guys, I always say this thing, all the houses in our chart has got a limit attached to it, but when it comes down to 8th house, this is a limitless house. After that, guys, when we talk about finding 5, number 5 is Moon Nakshatra very strongly colors your life and personality. So now, as you can see, if you will take up the case of Drake, in his case, his Moon Nakshatra is Ardra. So everything to do with the music, and rappers are also connected with somehow with the energies of Ardra only. So all the music and fascination, even in his videos as well, I see many smoke as well. The only one time I did not like Drake was that if you're from Toronto, you must be knowing about it. There was this girl who created controversy with throwing a chair from the top high-rise building, and she even got featured as a chair girl in Toronto tabloids, and Drake actually featured her in one of his video. So yeah, that was a move which many people did not like, but yeah, I actually am a big fan of Drake. So yes, his Moon Nakshatra is Ardra, and same way, guys, when we look at the Nakshatra of Richard Branson. So when we talk about the influence of Magha, so you know that Magha people, or a prominent Magha people, want to do things in a very larger than life way. And if you will look at his life, his airlines, his music label, now getting into the space industry, so all of that somehow could be attached with the prominence of Magha. It's not only about the business. Here I'm talking about your thought process, doing things in a very big, in a very grand way. After that, guys, so yeah, these are my 5 findings. If you have anything else to add, please feel free to write it in the comment section. After that, guys, let's have a quick overview of that when we talk about the success indicator, which could be extracted from all the houses. Now this could be because your ascendant lord is placed here, this could be your 10th house lord is placed here. What could be the combination? But how you can channelize your energies to extract the best out of all the 12 houses. So first house generally tells about self has to be empowered. Like if you are a director, if you are a producer, and if you want to have to cast any lead, so cast a lead who is going to have a prominent first house, because whenever first house is prominent, somehow the whole of the business, whole of the activity operation has to surround around the person. That could be the reason that people with a prominent first house, like being ascendant lord placed in the first house, too many planets being placed in the first house, either they become self-employed, they work for the government, or generally because too much of the energy or limelight always goes to them. So self has to be empowered if you want to attain success with a prominent first house. Second house, I generally see this house as very important, that when it comes down to devotion, focus, finding your inner calling from a very young age, young life. So I would say that second house plays a very pivotal role. Like if in your family someone has got a very prominent second house, if this person is not aware of his duties, encourage this person towards the worship of Lord Hanuman. If you actually want to figure out or identify any of the Hanuman devotee in the crowd, that person will definitely be someone who is going to have devotion to a specific cause. After that, guys, third house, I generally say that third house prominence just tells about capacity to act big. Like definitely this is the house which tells about your own self-initiated efforts, marketing, courage, valor. There could be some reason that why our ancient sages, they attach third house as the house of courage, of valor, and Mars as the karaka of this. So I would say that if you have a prominent third house is currently active in the dasha, so I would say that only thing which you have to learn is your to build the capacity to act big. After that, guys, fourth house, I would say for the fourth house, inner calling becomes very important. Do something where your heart and soul is very much aligned with it. Like the way I gave up my own example, that how much I'm invested and passionate about astrology, occult subjects. So same way I would say that finding that inner calling in the field you are pursuing, and also doing something which has got a mass appeal attached to it. Now guys, when we talk about fifth house, so that's very simple. Past life samskaras becomes very important, because if someone has got a very prominent fifth house, I would say that chances are going to be very strong that the talent which this person will display, somehow native might be doing or working in the same field from continuous process from the past life as well. After that guys, try to be pioneer, because fifth house originally belongs to the planet sun. So whatsoever you are doing, try to be the first in that field. And like the way there was this brand quote which I heard in my college days, an idea can change your life, so be mindful of your thoughts. After that guys, sixth house, I would say that attitude of service in order to bring change in the lives of others. So if you actually want to extract the good results or a humongous success with a prominent sixth house, I would say that sixth house not only tells about service, but important is that your offering, your services, your product has to be in a way bringing the service or improving the lives of other people. Only if you will work with this mindset, you can be very successful in your field. After that guys, when we talk about seventh house plays a very important role, like rather I would say more than the 10th house. If you are trying to extract success out of the 7th house, so your public image will become very, very important, like the kind of relationship you have with the masses. So that could be a key to success for the prominent 7th house. Now guys, if you want to extract success out of 8th house, my mool mantra is that success could be limitless. Never stop believing in yourself, because I would say that the irony is that the kind of potential 8th house holds to grant success to someone, but equal level of disappointments, failures, rejection, this house also bring in the life of the native. So only if you have this conviction to keep on going irrespective of all the rejections and failures, scandals, defamation, you can be successful. So never ever stop believing in yourself. For the 9th house, I would say guys that whatsoever could make you an inspiration, because all the acts which can not only grant you respect in the society, but where you can inspire the world as well. So like the way when I was talking about the 6th house, I mentioned this thing that do something which is going to be improving the life of people. But here I'm talking about not only improving, inspiring the world with your work, with your craft, with your wisdom, is definitely going to grant you success. After that guys, 10th house, I would say the utilization of power. Like if you want to extract the success out of the 10th house, make your ultimate goal to get power. Now this could be through some political means, this could be through becoming a top bureaucrat, but in whichsoever way, 10th house very strongly governs or manages the concerns of power. So either you could be in the power or you would be surrounded by the powerful prominent people. So this is how, or this is the only way via which you can extract the best out of the 10th house. Guys, when we talk about the 11th house, like the way I always give this quote from Jim Rohn, that more than what you get, important is what you become. So only if you are working hard to become something, this house will give you humongous success. Now guys, when it comes down to the 12th house, a lot many times I see astrologers only giving emphasis that if 12th house is coming in reading, is getting activated in Dasha or in the main Lagan chart, just move to the foreign land. So definitely this works, but a lot many times a prominent 12th house can also give you aimless wandering as well. So what matters, or if you actually want to understand the encrypted code of the 12th house, so try to understand this thing that all the houses can be accessed via our own efforts. But when it comes down to 12th house, you will be reached out, you will be communicated by the energies from the other side. So over there I would say that believe in the process of success finding you by itself. So keep on working hard, keep on putting efforts with this mindset that whatsoever you are doing, that will manifest. So manifestation, believing in the process of manifestation, waiting for the right time or right timing becomes very important for people who want to extract the success out of the 12th house. And lastly guys, like the way I promised this thing, that I will give you my favorite list of nakshatras which could be very good in terms of becoming rich or in terms of extracting wealth. So guys, nakshatra number 1 is Bharani. Now definitely it is a nakshatra being ruled by the planet Venus. So Bharani natives generally remain very lucky in the matters of wealth. After that is Rohini. Now Rohini is the most elegant nakshatra. You must have heard about this mythological story that out of his 27 wives, Moon was so much smitten by the charm of the Rohini that once it even denied to leave Rohini. So because of their charm, because of their elegance, and generally I have seen that Rohini prominent people are by themselves. They are born in the good families only. So their start of the life only tend to remain very blessed. So Rohini is the second one. Third comes in today's day and age of electronics, of media, people suddenly going viral. So Ardra Nakshatra natives also tend to remain lucky in the matters of wealth, only if they are not speculating their wealth. After that guys, Pushya Nakshatra tend to remain very prominent, because guys, it's not only the natal alignments, like even in the transit, like Pushya Nakshatra gave rise to so many good Muhurat Yoga as well. So there is something about this Pushya Nakshatra which makes it very promising, very auspicious nakshatra amongst all. After that guys, Magha Nakshatra, beyond doubt, when it comes down to attainment of power, now this could be through birthright, through inheritance, or through your talents, or any of the unusual circumstances, but Magha Nakshatra is very prominent. After that guys, definitely Purva Falguni. You go to any of the place, the guy who is going to be, or the person who is going to be at the most comfortable place, most luxurious place, is somehow going to be under the influence of Purva Falguni Nakshatra. After that guys, comes the Swati Nakshatra. Again, Swati Nakshatra prominent people tend to remain very savvy in their body language, in their public dealing, in their demeanor. So overall, Swati Nakshatra is very successful, very prominent in the matters of wealth. After that guys, Anuradha. Now Anuradha is also a nakshatra because when it comes down to extracting the best out of the Scorpio energy, so I would say that both Vishakha and Jyeshtha are little bit turbulent, but Anuradha is the calm water. And because the good part with the Anuradha native is that it's not only that it is a auspicious nakshatra in the matters of occult, knowledge, wisdom, because these are among those people who tend to remain very devotional. So now this could be because of your talent, this could be because of your hard work, or this could be because of your faith, your religious austerities, that you remain lucky in getting what you are eyeing for. So Anuradha is also one of my best pick. After that guys, Jyeshtha at times, because Jyeshtha also carries the energies of the Mercury, so, and the 8th house energy. So Jyeshtha people, because with Jyeshtha there is a lot of hoard to get the seniority, get that position. So that in itself helps in their life in terms of wealth, in terms of power as well. After that guys, I would say Purva Shadha. So all the Venusian nakshatra has to be in that list when we are talking about wealth. After Purva Shadha, Dhanishta. Dhanishta, the name itself means the most wealthy. So Dhanishta nakshatra native tend to remain very good in the matters of wealth. And guys, I have also placed a Sadbhisha as well over here, because Sadbhisha in a way also carries the energy of Rahu. And in today's day and age of electronics, IT, tech, artificial intelligence, media, so Sadbhisha plays a very pivotal role over there. So yes guys, this was just a short video on as very first upload of a new year from my end. So this is something which I wanted to say. So for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.